The biggest difference between Faramir and the books and movies comes down to the trial of the One Ring. Because in the Two Towers, we see him bring Frodo, Samwise, and Gollum all the way to Osgiliath before he realizes his mistake. But in the books, this never happens. He only brings them to a location known as Henneth Anun, which translates to the window on the west. It's the name of the chapter that they all talk, and he asks them a lot of questions. He asks about Boromir and his fate, saying that he dreams about him and that people have seen Boromir going by in the boat, which is crazy considering he went over the falls of Raros. It should be destroyed. He talks to him about the failure of Boromir as well, the sore trial he went through, why they're here in Ithilien, and of course about Isildur's Bane, which we as the reader know is the One Ring. But Faramir doesn't know that. Not a lot of people know that Isildur's Bane was the Ring of Sauron that was lost in the Anduin, but they do know there was some evil to it that was driving Isildur to fail in the way he did, and thus leading to his untimely demise at the Gladden Fields. What ends up happening is that it's actually Samwise who kind of screws them over a tad. He doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut, and he tells him it's the One Ring. And Faramir is like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Isildur's Bane is the One Ring. And then he kind of says the line that we all know, a chance for Faramir to show his quality. And Samwise and Frodo snap up from their chairs and start like groping for their swords because they fear him in that moment. And everyone is quiet in the outpost. But Faramir laughs. He says, too sore of a trial was this for Boromir. And he feels his pain, because that's his brother. He loves him more than anything. They both loved each other, and Boromir always protected Faramir. But what he says to him is exactly the line he told him before when he only knew it as Isildur's Bane. I would not take this if I found it on the highway. Even if Minas Tirith was in ruin, I would never use it for my own triumphs. And he passes the test. And a lot of things can be said about Faramir. You know, he's just as great of a warrior as Boromir. He's out there in Ithilien. It's highly dangerous. There's orcs roving around. The Haradrim pass through. He's defending it, doing what he can to fight them off. So, Sauron can't consolidate this army in Mordor. But he also was kind of the student of Mithrandir. And that name translates to the Great Pilgrim. You know him as Gandalf the Grey. He taught him some humility at some points and to be wise in other extents. He also loved lore and music, so he was very well versed in history, similar to his father. But a lot of people don't know that from the movies. It's why I enjoy Faramir's character so much. He doesn't choose for great battles and war. He only seeks to protect what he loves, which is Gondor, his brother, his father, the fellow warrior who carries the sword and bow. And you gotta appreciate that. And maybe a lot of people will say it's not enough character development for them, but it's enough for me to aspire to.